Fiancée lived a double life for years, and I found out she was engaged to another man. Now I'm torn between staying for the sake of my son or leaving because of her repeated infidelity. Hey, I apologize in advance for the length, but here it goes. I'm 29, and I started dating my fiancée, who's also 29, back in 2016 when we were both 21. We actually started out as friends with benefits, but about 6 months in, we admitted to each other that our feelings were deeper, so we made it official. Things were going well for a while, but soon enough it became clear we were pretty different. She was outgoing and loved adventure, while I've always been more of a stay-at-home, quiet kind of guy. She'd get a lot of attention from guys because she's got a curvy figure and is genuinely beautiful. Still, despite our differences, we made it work. In 2019, she gave birth to our son, and I proposed the following year, in 2020. After our son was born, I started noticing a shift in our sex life. It wasn't the same, and when I asked her about it, she said she was still in pain. She explained that the doctors didn't sew her up properly after they broke her water forcefully, which was causing her ongoing discomfort. After the baby, she got a job as a nurse and started pulling these long shifts that honestly seemed pretty extreme, leaving her with almost no time to relax. Most of the time, I was the one taking care of our son, 5 days a week, because she said she was too exhausted and overwhelmed from working. As time passed and her bleeding finally stopped, I expected things to pick up again in the bedroom, but it didn't happen. I kept trying to talk to her about it because, since 2023, we were only having sex once a month, if that. I couldn't help but mention that as a couple in our 20s, it didn't seem normal to be this inactive. She kept blaming it on having a low libido, which threw me off because when we were just friends with benefits, we were getting it on constantly. Our intimacy completely died down, and every time I tried to bring it up, she'd accuse me of only wanting sex and nothing else. Even when we did have sex, she'd rush through it or complain about stomach cramps and pains. Frustrated, I asked her if she was seeing someone else or if she had cheated, but she always denied it and flipped it back on me, making me feel like I was in the wrong for wanting intimacy, especially knowing how long and tiring her shifts were. Mind you, I was covering the bills too. Then, she went on a trip to visit family in her home country, and she left her phone behind because she didn't want it to get lost. I took that chance to go through her phone, and it didn't take long to find something. There were messages with another man. They were telling each other how much they loved one another. And apparently, this affair had been going on for 4 years, during which she was engaged to me and we had our son together. It turns out she even got engaged to this other guy back in 2023, and she got pregnant by him multiple times. The earliest proof I found was from December 2022. She had a few miscarriages, which is why she hasn't had his baby yet, but she's met his family, and in the messages, she told him her mom wants to meet him too. The kicker is, her mom knows we're engaged and that we have a family together. I recovered a bunch of deleted messages between them, and it was full of love hearts and I love yous scattered throughout their conversations. I found receipts of her buying food for this other guy, being all sweet and caring towards him, way more than she ever was with me. She seemed more patient and kind with him, whereas with me, she'd be short-tempered. I also dug up a bunch of deleted chats, showing that she's been unfaithful as far back as 2018. In fact, she even slept with and got pregnant by another man, a doctor from her workplace, though she miscarried that baby too. Even after starting the relationship and getting engaged to this other guy, she continued cheating on him. It looks like she's double-crossing him as well. I even found messages where she was sending pictures of herself to other guys, showing off her body, and trying to arrange meetups with them. This while she's engaged to me, with our son, and telling me she wants to marry me. When I finally confronted her about the guy she was supposedly engaged to and got pregnant by, she got defensive right away. Instead of addressing what I found, she was more upset that I'd gone through her phone. I kept pressing her for answers, asking her why, and she eventually said she enjoyed the guy's company because he's like the male version of her, like a twin. But then, she claimed she didn't actually want him or love him, and that she was lying to him about all that. She promised to dump him for me. She flat out denied sleeping with him or anyone else. She even denied the pregnancy and engagement, even though I had seen the messages where they talked about it and said how much they loved each other. I asked if her mom was involved, and she swore her mom didn't know a thing. that she'd lied to the guy about her mom being in the loop. A part of me wants to confront her mom and ask her directly, but I'm afraid of blowing everything up if her mom really doesn't know. While she's been on this trip, she's been calling me, saying she'll do whatever it takes to make it right, that she'll cut the guy off to prove it. But I'm pretty sure she's only saying that because she got caught. It feels like she doesn't understand the weight of what she's done, or how much it hurts me to feel like I'm second or third place in her life, especially while I'm here paying the bills and taking care of everything for her. This is where I'm torn. On one hand, I feel completely betrayed and humiliated. She was living a double life for 4 years, got engaged, and almost had a baby with another man. It kills me that she claimed to have a low sex drive, leaving our bedroom dead, while she was clearly more sexually active with someone else. The thought of her being more engaged in sex with another guy, while lying to me, just makes me feel sick to my stomach. But on the other hand, I don't want to lose my family. The idea of some other man being around my son and possibly helping to raise him, that's hard for me to swallow. What if she ends up having different men in and out of his life? So, should I stay just for my son's sake? Should I try to get full custody and let her live her life? My heart tells me to stay, but my head tells me to leave, because deep down, I think she'll keep talking to other guys. If she could keep this up for that long, it feels like part of who she is. She gets a lot of attention from men, especially because she's so beautiful and curvy, and I can't help but think she'll do this again. I'm just stuck, feeling like she's a compulsive liar and serial cheater, and I honestly don't know what to do. Any advice would be appreciated.